I'm Troy Kirby with a quick look at the 2022 Washington State Legislative Session. One bill that did not pass beyond the Senate during the 2022 Washington State Legislature was Engrossed Second Substitute Senate Bill 5662, which would have created an intergovernmental coordination to address transitional people who are encamped on state public rights-of-way to public housing solutions.
And I've got to say, when I first saw this bill, I wasn't necessarily behind it. And I wasn't behind it for one specific reason, and that's because it didn't have a lot of measures of accountability to ensure that the program was going to be effective, that it was going to have a positive effect.
So if we were to take the $50 million that's allocated for this particular program, we could simply write a check to every homeless person that camps on the side of the road for $8,300 and something. I am afraid that the original bill will motivate people to actually camp on the side of the road. So this doesn't relieve the problem of getting people off of roadside encampments. I believe this will simply exacerbate the problem.
What Senator Fortunato is proposing completely undermines the intent of the bill.
But I've asked people, I asked staff to come up with a number. I said, how much money are we actually spending on homelessness? And if you take all of the state programs that we have and put them all together, and you take all of the county money that we are currently spending, not counting the city money, it is somewhere in the vicinity of $2.7 billion. We're going to add another $50 million to that, Mr. President. And we're going to, the biggest problem I have with this bill is that if you want all of these services and all take the advantage of everything that's in this bill, all you need to do is camp on the side of the road.
And it is a very emotional and deep and dark and lonely place to not have options in terms of housing. And I do find issue with the good member who spoke earlier about choices and choices that people might make in those types of situations. And I would really ask us to reach into our hearts and think about what it means to be in that position and what choices someone truly has if they are desperate enough to be camping in a situation that provides so little stability and such great opportunity for harm.
First of all, because we can't allow our neighbors and friends to live in unsafe conditions any longer. And, I think it's difficult to imagine for me the turn of events in my life that would lead me to being in a position of some of our friends and neighbors who are living in the right of way. Just the intergenerational trauma, the impacts of substance use disorder, perhaps veterans of our wars who have unresolved and undiagnosed and untreated conditions, but all of that leading someone to the place that they're living in our state's right of way, it just is a profound system failure. And I think we have an obligation to act.
We have already last year requested and passed a Ruckelshaus House study that is to look into all the aspects of homelessness, including the behavioral health, the lack of a job, the not being able to live somewhere or have a home, and why, and all of the root causes of these issues for these people.
The bill did pass the Senate 36-12 on February 14th and did make it through House committee hearings, but did not make the House floor in time for a vote during the 2022 Washington State Legislature, despite the fact that both the Senate and the House are controlled by the same majority party. Thank you for watching the 2022 Washington State Legislative Session.